Well, today is a balmy 53 degrees here in Michigan. Looks like we're supposed to get some rain today, but you know, sometimes that's just dribbles. And I desperately need to get outside today, not just for the food wise, but for my soul. I need to be out there and I need to see something growing up outside. You know, I have the little things I started inside, which I'll show you here in a second. But I did a little something yesterday that kind of an experiment, kind of a way to get started. And I'll show you that in just a minute. Let's go take a look at my plants that I have ready to go, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with some of those, and then I think I'm going to start planting a few things as another experiment. But anyway, I need to get going here today because I just can't stand being inside anymore. So let's go look around. All right, first I have my little things on the porch. This is a little hydroponic pea pods that I'm trying, and it seems to be doing pretty well. These are the pots that you saw I had planted earlier, and this one is starting to take off really well for me. I have a little area in the back that I started some raised beds. I'll show you those in a second. I think I'm going to take a few clumps out of here and transplant those into my new raised beds, give those a little bit more room, and start off my new raised beds. And I'm pretty sure this is some Napa cabbage, but I don't remember, to be honest. I didn't label them. My little radishes are popping up. I don't see anything from the potatoes so far. I'm hoping it wasn't too cold. It has been really, really cold at night, down in the low 20s, and honestly, it may have been too cold for the potato, but you know what? That was just an experiment, so I'm going to leave it and see what we do. My little garlic is doing okay, the two I sprouted. My onion is looking a little sad, but I think it's going to perk up. I think I'm just going to transplant that to a bigger area. And then I have these things over here. I move these in and out as I can. And my kohlrabi is getting a little leggy. I think I'm going to transplant that into my new raised beds. They should do okay if it gets a little cold at night, along with my kale. The rest of this is not going to do it if it gets too cold at night. Things like cucumbers and tomatoes, they won't survive down in the 20s at night. They'll die. So the ones that I know will do okay, I will put in my new little raised beds, and I'll go show you what those look like. All right, let me show you what I have going on here. This is actually a little composter that I've had, oh gosh, at least 10 years. And, you know, on a big farm, I don't need it anymore because I can make giant piles out here. So I can't get to the store to buy wood to do some raised beds that I want to do this year. So what I did was I filled it with some compost. I took 2 pieces of the 3, and yesterday I filled it with my compost and I watered it down. What I decided to do on this section here is I left it so I could put this layer on here in case it gets too cold. We're still dropping down into the low 20s sometimes at night. This is to keep this top piece from blowing off. We get some really bad wind here. But I'm going to plant some of my early spring crops in here. Once I know that they're going to survive and I don't have to worry about snow, I mean, we've gotten snow up until the middle of May, enough that it would kill things. I'm going to plant some things in here, and I'm going to plant it really thick. If necessary, I could transplant them again later, but mostly this is going to be my, you know, I'm going to eat it early in the spring, and then I can start transplanting some more later. So some of those things you saw out front, I think I'm going to put in here. This one looks a little wet. I might do this one instead, just because this one probably should have left it a little bit and let it dry out, but we'll see. I'll see what happens when I start digging into it. It's going to be in one of these 2, maybe both. I don't know. But I'm going to get some early spring crops going. I'm going to transplant a little bit of my lettuce in here. I'm going to put those kohlrabi in here, probably my kale. And I'm going to put a few seeds in here just because I want to see how it goes. And you know what? It never hurts to try. It's only a small area. It's only a few seeds. If I get any food out of it, it's such a bonus for me. But this is my next step. I'm going to come out here today and I'm going to plant some things in here. And once I do that, I'll kind of show you where I'm at. Okay, besides the plants I'm going to transplant, I'm going to put just a few, these are early season crops, and they should do okay even if I leave them uncovered. I'm going to start these in the uncovered bed for right now. I'm going to do some onion transplants, not all of them, obviously there's almost 100 in there. I'm going to do a little pak choy, a couple cabbage, some more kohlrabi. I'm going to do, forgot my lettuce in there. I'll grab another pack of lettuce, a few carrots, and I've been soaking some peas overnight. I always soak my peas. And I'm going to put some of those in one of those beds, and I'm not going to cover that. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to do my beets, too. A few beets. Because, you know what, in the springtime, I don't care. I do a lot of experimentation, and usually it works for the best. So one bed I'm going to plant some of these things in, and the other one I'm going to transplant some of my other vegetables in, as well as put some of the seeds. And we're going to see what I get. So today is Sunday, the 19th of April. A month early in Michigan to start planting, but you know what? I need to get this going. I figured between being able to protect them and the black sides, which will warm up the soil better, I should get some vegetables out of it. And I might see if I have a potato sprouted. And I could put that down in the center, but that might take up too much room. Anyway, I'm going to see what I find here, and I'll let you know what I come up with. Right, for my first row, you could see I'm going to put my peas. I'm going to do a row all the way across this one, and again in here. So one's going to be protected and one isn't. And that will see how my peas are going to do. And I do have some little tongue depressor, not popsicle sticks I'm going to label there with what I have in there. But that first row is going to be peas. As you can see, they're very well closely spaced because I don't expect most of these to grow. I have lots of peas. If I didn't have this many, and this is 3 different types, so I should have been smart and decided which kind I have, but I wasn't. So first row is going to be peas. Okay, I planted my first little box here. As you can see, things are really crammed in here, and I do that for a reason. Now, I had that row of peas first. I did a row of carrots here, and you know what? I eat these as tiny carrots, more like baby carrots, so they'll be fine. You can see I poked in some little bits of lettuce I took out of that thing in the front, the pot. This is my kohlrabi. I have 2 rows, well, almost 2 rows. 1 row here and then a few here, little bits of lettuce in between, because I will be pulling that out quite young. And, you know, I do intensive in things like this. So this is my kale. Again, that's very spaced very close, but kale transplant's fine for me. If I need to, I could transplant it. My turkeys love it, love kale. So I harvest that, you know, a lot. And last but not least, I planted my spinach out of that. It wasn't looking too happy in there, so I transplanted all my spinach because I love spinach salads. So this is the first little bed. As you can see, it's very packed in there. As it grows, I will harvest it. It will turn into one big mass of plants, but I can intensively harvest it then. And I think everything's going to do okay. You know what? We'll keep an eye on it. I am going to put that top layer on here because this is a little too windy right now, and I will be able to protect these, and the other one will be an unprotected bed for right now. So worst comes to worst, I could throw some plastic or something over top of that and put the lid on that until things sprout. So anyway, that one is planted, and I'm going to go ahead and do something on that one next. Okay, I finished planting this bed intensively as well. The first row here are the peas, and then I did a row of carrots. Once again, they'll be baby carrots. I did some onion sets because I use those kind of like spring onions. I only let them get to be maybe golf ball size. and I'll start picking everyone out. Next is a row of pak choi, then broccoli, then cabbage, and scattered throughout is a few beet seeds because I use those for the greens in my salads. And the cabbage, the broccoli, and the pak choi will be used as a transplant bed. Once they're big enough, they will be severely thin, no more than 3 left in here, and they will be transplanted to other parts of the garden. But there you go. I have my first 2 little beds started. I'm going to find something to cover this with for a couple of days to keep my cat and my girly out of it, and my chickens so they don't come in here and dig. And as you can see, this one's a little bit more protected. One of these 2 is going to get the lid. I might put the lid on this one and then put some plastic or something over this. I'm going to go see what I can find. And all right, I went scrounging and I found this pan here. I hold it down with the brick because it's windy. That is going to make a really nice top over this at night, and I will weigh it down with the brick. And I'm going to move this to where it fits in this crack here so it'll help hold it down. But there you go. Now I know I have everything protected at night, and they will have lots of space to grow. It'll be warmer in here because of the black, kind of a microclimate. The other one, once they start popping up, I will take that lid off. And so there's my earliest beds out here. Excuse me. Once I know everything's really well established, I'm going to take this layer off and I'm going to set it on that cardboard down there, and I'm going to turn that into yet another planting bed. Eventually what I want to do is just take and find some lumber. I made this 8 feet long, and I want to go around it with lumber and then fill in between, pull the plastic out, and hopefully I can give this composter to my daughter who lives in the city. But you know what? You got to use what you got on hand right now. Anyway, this is my early spring planting bed, and I think it's going to work just fine for now. And like I said, if I can get some salads by Mother's Day, I will be thrilled. So got to start somewhere, and I just have to. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do a little hugel culture. I'm going to have my brother plow me a small line over there next to that compost pile, and I'm going to get all the sticks and logs that I could find around here. I'm going to fill it in, I'm going to cover it up, and we're going to try a little hugel culture this year. So got to keep experimenting, seeing out what works best. I can't afford to build a whole lot of raised beds, and you know, we do have a lot of clay here. Yes, it's better than it was, but I moved here in 2015. I did not have a garden that year because it was late in the year. So really, this is only my 4th year, and although we've amended the soil quite a bit, it's not really great yet. It's better than it was, but you know what? I need and I want a really good, healthy garden, and it's going to take me years to get there. So in the meantime, I'm going to experiment like crazy and see what the best I can do to grow as much as I can. I believe that the economy this year of the coronavirus 2020 is going to be bad for a lot of people, and if I can grow my own vegetables and share them with others that need them, I'm going to do the best that I can this year. So I hope you guys are happy, healthy, and if you have a chance, get outside, enjoy, even if just a little bit. And there's my girly back there. She's enjoying as usual. So I appreciate you all joining me, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.